All right, folks, today is Wednesday, March 20th, 2024. We're working on the Bandit project here that we're doing. You know, remember this car was originally a 76 Trans Am, a white 76 Trans Am, and we're switching it over to a 77 Bandit. So the air cleaner changed, not the air cleaner, the shaker, I should say, changed from 76 to 77. 76 is much more rounded. And this is actually, 77's shakers are actually really low profile, and they have a really hard ridge right here. I have one of those, but I'm gonna use this shaker. I bought this from a guy. I bought a bunch of interior parts off of. He had this laying there, and I got a good deal on it, so I got that. What I want to do on this car, you know, these cars originally, you know, they had the shake. You know, back in the 1970 Trans Am, actually had a flap in the back of the shaker that would open up, that would flop open and let the car draw cold air in through the shaker. That's the whole point of the shaker. But by 1973, they had, you know, riveted the flap off because of emissions and not emissions, but they said that it made too much noise, drive-by standards and all that stuff. So they basically disabled that, and they would put a intake duct off of the air cleaner, and it would draw air down out of the driver's side fender in the front. So all Trans Ams, basically from 73 all the way up to 81, you know, they had these shakers sticking them out of the hood, but they didn't breathe through that. They were breathing through this. I want my car to breathe through the shaker like the way God and Pontiac intended it to. So the way you do that is, this is the original air cleaner off of my 76 Trans Am. Lucky for me, this piece already rusted off. I just grabbed it, went to go pick it up, and the thing fell right off. That's fine with me, because we are not using that. So we're going to cut this area out, weld metal in, and basically make it so that was never there. We're going to get rid of all these little extra holes and hose holders and all that stuff. We're not going to be running any of this emission stuff, so it's all going away. Lucky for me, this shaker is already opened up. I did a little bit extra cleaning on there just to make it even better, and I think I will be buying, they actually make the flap. I can buy an aftermarket flap to go in there, and we'll have this thing breathing through the shaker in no time. So stay tuned for that. We'll keep working on this thing, and we'll show you as we come along how that's done. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Alright, so today is Saturday, March 23rd. We're on our next step with the shaker restoration here and modification. This is a new product that they've come out with, or a new paint product that we're starting to use now. This is Sherwin-Williams De Beer paint, and this is actually primer. It's direct to metal primer, but it's tinted, so it's, you know, these parts are going to be black. So we're using this stuff. It's kind of it's supposed to be a high build primer. And try it out. It's supposed to be good stuff. There's our air cleaner. All modified. No longer a scoop coming out of the side here, or you know, an intake. This thing's going to be breathing. This car's going to be breathing through the shaker. So that's what we want. These holes will be blocked off because we don't want air to be coming up through the bottom of the air cleaner. We want all the air to be coming in through the scoop itself. This little hole here was added because, you know, the shaker is going to be open in the back. It's going to have like a little flapper system that opens up, just in case, you know, say you're caught in a really bad rainstorm or something like that, and a little bit of water gets in there somehow. Shouldn't, but you never know. If some water does get in, it will go in here. This is the front of the air cleaner, which is, you know, angled down towards the front of the car a little bit. If any water ever does get inside this thing somehow, it'll be able to drain out. So like I said, it should never happen. It's just in case. Rather be safe than sorry. So we're gonna let this primer dry overnight. We'll come in tomorrow morning and get these things sprayed. See you then. Okay, so here we are Monday, March 25th, 2024. All of the parts have been painted, the shaker parts themselves. There's your air cleaner lids all done. The air filter housing. Remember, there used to be a big scoop that came out the side here. That's all gone. Only the bare essentials are left for that. The top side of the shaker is just primered right now, but the bottom side's all done in the same satin black. So this attaches to that. We'll get whatever little, we get the little breather for the valve cover that goes on the side there. We'll get this thing all together and the shaker will be done. Again, there's going to be a flap, an electric flap that's going to go in the back of this. And this thing will be breathing through the shaker as Pontiac intended it. Stay tuned for that. Alright, so today's Wednesday, March 27th. Just want to show you guys where we're at. The shaker's painted. The outside of the shaker's all painted, done. Of course, we already did the restoration on the restoration and the modification of the air filter housing. So if you remember, there used to be ductwork coming out the side of this. It's basically all gone now. So you've got your air cleaner. It's going to sit inside there. Again, this is going to be breathing all of its air instead of through this, duct on the side. It's going to be breathing all of its air through the shaker. So we've got a kit here, sold on eBay. This is basically takes the car back to what they were doing in 1970 and 71 with a flap. So this is an electric solenoid, and what that thing does is when you can set it however you want on your gas pedal, you want it to open up about 3/4 of the way or full throttle. What this thing does is as soon as it hits a certain point on the throttle, the solenoid pulls back and it pulls the flap open. Right now I've got the flap in the back of the shaker. It's glued in right now. I use windshield urethane, 3M windshield urethane. It's permanent bond. So right now this is drying. This will dry overnight, and we'll finish getting this attached inside the shaker and get it wired up, and you'll see the final thing here. Stay tuned. Okay, just one thing I wanted to touch on here. A lot of shakers have this problem. See, there's normally a seal that goes around here, and the water comes down through the hood and collects in there, and it needs a place to drain. So Pontiac put a little nipple, a little plastic nipple down through this hole, and then they would run a hose out in front of the engine to drain water on the ground. Over the years, that this plastic cheapy nipple that's put in there is just glued in there with epoxy. A lot of times over the years it breaks out or is missing, like this one's missing. If you go online to look up that nipple, they want $20 for a little plastic piece of crap nipple that you still have to glue in and hope it stays. That's going to break in another few years. So this is just something you can do that is a more permanent solution, and is literally a 20th of the price. You go down to your local hardware store, go into your electrical section, they sell conduit for wiring. As you can see, this is a metal nipple. Has a little thing on top here. It goes down through here. That's going to be there. You have O-rings at the same hardware store you can put on there around it. You put that thing up in, screw it in. Right here is the actual part number in case you want it. And I'll bring it back and show you when that's finished. Okay, you're all done. You have to enlarge this hole a little bit. Just no big deal. It's fiberglass, so very easy. You can do it with a little file or Dremel or whatever. Leaves you with a metal 3/8 nipple. As you can see, it's O-ringed. Permanent solution. Will never break. It's removable if you ever want to remove it. Just a little tip there. Okay, so we have the mechanism all installed inside the shaker now. See the solenoids in there, riveted in. This is a nice little kit they give you. The wires go up through here and they actually supply the grommet, the plug-in and everything. There's a switch that goes on to your gas pedal. When you stomp on the gas, you see it's opening your flap. Okay, so here we are, finished shaker. Try not to laugh at my paint. The paint, this is straight out of the gun from a couple days ago. It hasn't been polished or painted or anything. It's got my fingerprints all over it, but this thing will be buffed. The final step on this will be to either, there's two ways you can do the your shaker seal. You can buy the ones that glue on around the edge, which I probably won't do on this one. I prefer the ones I buy aftermarket rubber, which pinches over this lip, and it's just a better setup. So, yeah. A little demonstration of the flap here in the back. Hit your gas. So now this thing will be breathing through the shaker. No more trying to take air up out of the driver's side fender. It cleans the engine compartment up quite a bit because you don't have that gigantic, you know, that big duct work coming off the side and coming out, you know, through your engine bay and everything. So next step on this thing is going to be polish it all up, get it all buffed out, get the seal on it, and this one's done. Thanks for watching. If you like this content, you can hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to my channel, watch any videos I put up. I do little tips and tricks like this. And if you like the content, you can hit the like button. It helps my videos be seen. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.